My project is a web application where you can add a Pokemon as a Pokemon trainer to your Pokemon team, and you can find them by looking them up by their type, their name, Pokédex number, ability, other Pokemon attributes, and you can add moves to them and items to them, and essentially traverse those pages to also filter through the moves and items to add to your Pokemon. And for a demo, this is the first page that pops up. Here you can input a trainer ID, some numbers, and here you can input a name, and here are the Pokemon that you can choose from, the different types that you can choose from, their Pokédex numbers, other attributes, and if you click on the filter button for any of these when choosing a type, you will be able to filter based off that type, and it will appear like this and give you the Pokemon that match that attribute that you filtered for. And once you've chosen one, you can click on Add Pokemon, and this screen will appear giving your trainer number, your name, and then the list of the Pokemon you just added, and then a box that you can input a Pokemon to delete if you wish. There's also the items and moves pages. By clicking on them, you would be taken to the page. They either won't go to the page or are very slow at getting to the page, though I can confirm that it doesn't break or there's no errors within the buttons. And that's pretty much the demo. For my ER diagram, it looks as it does, mainly to show the constraints, but essentially the trainer entity is connected to the Pokemon entity, and then the Pokemon entity is connected to all three of the other entities, and moves is connected to Pokemon and items is connected to Pokemon. Those are the connections. Most of the constraints are 0 to many, except for item to Pokemon, where Pokemon can have 0 to 1 items, and items can have or be owned by 0 or many Pokemon. For the more complex queries in the application, there are some subqueries that I attempted to do here with when the Pokemon is added to a trainer database. I use a subquery to find the Pokédex number according to a Pokemon's name to then assign that to slot 1 for the trainer table. And aside from that, all the other queries are simple queries, no joins required, just a subquery for this. My approach to populating my application data, I did it manually, just through insert statements in the database or in the SQL file, and then access the database to have all of these inserted. I tested my application just by running the Pokemon.js file and trying it out from there, making sure that it connects, seeing if the buttons would move to a new page. I also made sure that the queries were working or not by just using hard-coded data, since one of the issues is that the data is not being passed through the web pages, so it cannot complete a query without me hard-coding it. That's one thing that isn't working. And like I said earlier, the item and move buttons do not go to the pages, though there is no errors with them. And a challenge I had was figuring out more or less the problems that I was having and how to optimally put what I had in my head into code that wasn't too complicated. And for next steps, if I were to continue developing the application, I would get a team together to work on it, because doing it by myself is hard.